guys, I found a few things at the thrift store this morning, and this was something I've been looking for a long time. I don't know if you could tell what it is, but it goes in the kitchen. It is cast iron and it holds the cookbooks. It's really well made, so the cookbook's going to go in here and it'll hold the pages open. I've wanted one of these for a really long time, and so when I saw it, I just kind of snatched it. I was so happy to find it. Now, $8.99, usually I'm kind of like, $8.99 at a thrift store, but when you really want it, you really want it, right? And I think that's a pretty good buy. What do you guys think? Isn't it cute? So that's going to make a nice little addition. And then I found a whole bunch of books. And this is one, Somerset Life. If you don't know about this one and you love to do like arts and crafts, Somerset makes a lot of, I love their altered arts, but they cover artists who make different things. They show you all different types of artists, their techniques, and you read about them and what they think and how they came upon their art and stuff. And I've always really enjoyed these magazines, but they're about $15 or $16 at Michael's and Joann's. And so I'll poke through them, but I don't usually buy them because that's a little stiff for me. And so I found all of these for $3.50 at this thrift store. So I was able to get some really nice Somerset Life and Somerset Memories. They have a whole bunch. Somerset does a lot of different titles. And I was able to get these all for $3.50. I also found another one, which is called Artful Blogging. And of course, this is $3.50 too. It's like a book. And this is new to me. Artful Blogging is so great because it really covers a bunch of artists who blog. And so it kind of condenses their blogs in here into these pages, and you can just kind of like peruse all these different artist blogs and listen to what they think about their craft, how they came about it, what it's all about. And I mean, it's just reading that I think you'd really, I love. I just absolutely love it. And reading about other artists and their ideas, it always inspires me to want to do something a little different and maybe try out some of their techniques. So anyway, I found a couple of those. And now this is a book that I used to have many years ago, about 15 years ago, in Artist Trading Cards Workshop. I really loved it. It was one of my favorite books that I had. It was for ATCs. I have a friend, Lainey's Life. She was her channel. And she used to make these, and a lot of times people will make these artist trading cards. They're about the same size as a deck of cards, and you just trade them. That's exactly what they are. You trade them, you never sell them. You just trade them, and then you collect. A lot of times there were groups that started up and they'd say, okay, we're going to have a theme, and the theme is purple, or it would have, maybe a saying for the theme. And that's what you would do. Everybody would kind of like do. Maybe it was green, or maybe it was Valentine's Day or something. And they would all make these cards and then just trade them. And so these are different examples and techniques. And I lent this, I don't know if I lent it or I gave it to one of my old students from my art class, but I never got it back. So I'm assuming that I gave it to her, but I really missed it. And it was one of that I kind of wish that I had kept. Isn't that terrible? Do you ever give something away and you're like, gosh darn it, why did I do that? I loved that. But anyway, I hope she's treasuring it. If not, maybe this is that book. And I found it at the thrift store. And this is more. I always wanted this one, and I never did get this book. But this one is just more and more examples of artist trading cards, and kind of like just, feeds your imagination on what you can do with these. Anyway, I just love them. They're mini works of art, and sometimes it's just easier to make something in a small size than a big one. Maybe it's like a sketch for something that could be blown up bigger, or maybe it just deserves a small size, and that's the best way that you can make something, okay, and then I got this book here, which is really cool. I got this one for $4.99, and I don't know who wrote it because it's under this. I'll have to take that off very carefully. Anyway, the author I don't know who it is, but she wrote this called Satisfied, Finding Hope, Joy, and Contentment Right Where You Are. And I love books like this because it's full of recipes and ideas for family and home. And it just, at the same time, it's kind of like an autobiography that kind of talks about how she came to that place of contentment, right? And so I just like reading things like this about people's journey to peace and, tranquility. And even though life is not tranquil and peaceful, most of the time it's, all of the imperfect moments add up to a perfect, wonderful life still. You know what I mean? Life is great, even though it's full of the ups and downs, and it's full of the tumultuous moments and the deep depression moments and stuff. Life is still life. And as long as we're still here, it's like life is so much worth living, every single day. Anyway, I am really going to just savor reading this. Here's all her wonderful little recipes in the back. Some of them I might not be able to have. They're not low carb, but maybe I can change them about. But still, it's part of, and if I wrote a book, and I've also often thought of one to write, I would want it to be in this format, where you just kind of like, oh, there's my little bookmark there, where you just kind of like, showing bits and pieces of what makes your life what it is. And between all of the experiences are recipes and ideas. Anyway, that's what I found at the thrift store this morning. All right, I took the kids to a little art exhibit. This is by Beth Casper. It's entitled Addicted to Our Devices. And basically, she's showing a lot of people who are basically on their smartphones while they are letting life kind of pass them by. And this one was really sad here. This one struck me as, there's a painting of a mother adoring her baby, juxtaposed with the mom kind of like, giving all the attention to the phone. And so you see all these people just kind of like, this one's missing the buffalo right outside her window. I don't get this one here. Maybe there's a bird on the phone looking at the bird that's out of the phone. I'm not quite sure about that one. Here you have a homeless man here who has a phone. And so basically she was just saying that this, that it reaches all facets, I guess, of our society. This one is called Regret. And I think, for me, it made me think of maybe her being regretful of the things that she missed in order to be on her phone. She kind of like missed a lot of opportunities in real life. This is, what is this? This is like Internet Cafe or something like that. This one was entitled like Out of Batteries or something. So this child is on a phone even while it's, juicing up. This is fishermen. You've got 3 fishermen out here, and 2 of them were on their phones, not paying attention. These are like the faces of cracked phones, but it's called, I think it's called It Still Works or something like that. And even if it's cracked, people are still like glued to them. I thought that was interesting. This one was just very sad to me. This one was really sad. These people are looking at the phones instead of looking at each other. This one was about 5G, reaching you everywhere. And then this was interesting. This was about like when you get new phones and everything ends up, looking like a bunch of garbage when you're done with it and you're ready for the next, you're ready for the next new toy. And so there goes the other one back into the pile, so it was a very interesting and poignant exhibit. This one was my favorite, and this is where she puts the phone in her back pocket and just plays with the dog. This was just really, and the kids said they liked this one too. This one was very animated and living. It was called Happy. Morning, everybody. It is, I don't remember what day it is. It's Tuesday, and I'm just hanging out here outside. It's not too hot yet in the shade, and it's so nice and peaceful. I'm watching the birds and the dogs play, and the kids are getting their chores done. After they're done, I'll take them to the trampoline park a little bit, and then we'll come home and get some work done, because I have been working on that extra big closet and cleaning it out. Since we've moved in, it's been kind of like the collector of all the, I don't want to say junk because it's our belongings, but everything, and I'm having to go through years of paper clutter and just you name it. So thank goodness it was a bulk pickup day, and I threw away so much stuff already, including a little bit of furniture. And so I'm just going through. It's almost like, what's that, Swedish death cleaning right now, because every time I look at everything, I'm imagining if somebody in my family would have to go through this. So I'm kind of like cleaning it out. Sorry about the airplane. With that in mind.
Oops, dog on the mat. I can't jump when you're here with me. You might get hurt, little one. Oh, let's get you off, okay? So I can jump again. Or do you want to jump with me, just real light? Let's just do a real light jump, okay? I won't hurt you. Come on, Huckabee. Come on, Huckabee. He's up for anything. He's such a quintessential dog. Oh, and now we've got another one. Misty's on the mat. Oh, okay, I think I'm just gonna quit and pet you guys. What? Where's Mist? Where's Mist? Misty, come back! Oh, what on earth? Oh my goodness. You're attacking. Attack her.
You know, it's funny, anytime I come out to jump on the trampoline by myself and get some exercise, either the dogs want to get on with me or the kids want to come out and they want to do it. And they want to do it with me, but then they want to show me all these tricks and everything. So I don't actually end up ever really getting time out on the trampoline. But that's okay, because everybody wants to be with me.
Huh, a buddy. Am I a good boy? Am I a good boy? Yucky. Yucky, dog germs.
All right, so I wanted to show you what I did with my watermelon. The sun killed off a lot of my garden by now. I mean, well, there's still a lot of stuff growing. I have to show you over here, all of the herbs are going wild. I've covered up the Knott's Berry Farm berries so they don't get burned. 1,000,000 bees are coming in and they are just pollinating all of this mint here, and so I'm just letting them have their heyday. I still have a ton of this purslane growing, so that's really good. And the basil, the bees are after the basil as well, so I'm just letting them have their fill. Once they're done, I will put away all the seeds and then and save them, and then I'll pull all that out pretty much and start over again. Maybe, depends on how they look. Didn't get a lot of tomatoes this year, but I got some really wonderful watermelons, really big watermelons. And I still have a watermelon. I have to show it to you. There's one, I like what happened to this fence, the pool fence. As you can see, the watermelon vines grew up on the fence. And it gives some shade and some privacy, so I kind of like let it go. But there's a watermelon up here. You know, I'll just peel it all off when it's time. But there's watermelon that was growing here and it was pulling down on the fence. So I took some pantyhose and I made a sling. As you can see, the part where your bum goes in is actually holding the big watermelon up so that it's able to stretch and support the watermelon. And it is hooked on these two posts on the side. That way it doesn't pull the fence down. But anyway, so I grew that up there. Oh, there's a little watermelon here. Let me show it to you. This is pretty, this is kind of smaller than the ones that we've already cut and have eaten. They're really good. Let's go around this side here. There also should be another one right in here, and this one is pretty big. We're kind of waiting on this one. It's kind of sticky. I don't know why. Why is it sticky? Anyway, so that one's going to be done pretty soon. We've picked a few, and they're actually quite sweet and quite good. I gave the biggest one to my good friend, who I love so much. So I just wanted to stop in and say good morning today, and I hope you're going to have a wonderful day, and I will check in with you later.